There was no denying it. He was worried about the Shieldmaidens, and Elsa in particular. He should have gone with them, but he swore he would never pick that life up again. Look where it got him. He was surviving quite nicely, but he had to admit it was boring at times. He often thought about having a woman in his life, but the usual fare in this city just didn't appeal to him. They were beautiful enough and came from all walks of life, but certainly not like Elsa. She was full of courage, daring, and skill. She was more to his liking. He could not stop thinking about her. The Shieldmaidens grabbed some spiced food at the market and any other supplies they thought they would need. They were on their way to find their kin, and who knows what else. Thor gave them a clear map, and they had already done some exploring in the area while waiting for their armor. "There it is," Astrid said. "That's the tower with the plane. The map says to go straight towards it, following the shattered springs until we come to some ruins. There are usually rhinos there, so let's go try out this armor, Elsa." "No mistaking that as the shattered springs," Elsa said. "The stench is terrible. Let's find those ruins." "That looks like them over there, Elsa." When Astrid got close, she and Elsa stopped to see just what they were up against. "Well, there's our rhinos, and a few of them too. I see another one to our right, Elsa. Let's be careful." Astrid readied her shield and axe. "He's going to charge, Astrid. Look out!" Too late. The rhino hit both of them with full force. They got up quickly and charged back. "Well, they go down pretty easy enough," Elsa said. Astrid headed for the next rhino, not giving him the chance to charge. "I think we can avoid those two," Astrid said. When they reached the top of the stairs, Astrid took a moment to look up at the ruins. They were massive, and she wondered just how big these ancients were. God, Elsa, this must have been quite some place years ago. The map tells us to go through the break in the wall and head north. As they got to the end of the stands, they could not believe their eyes. "Look, Astrid, trees, just like home." "And that must be River's End we are to follow," Astrid replied. The view was breathtaking and such a welcoming sight. air became cooler as they reached the water, and it had a wonderful smell of balsam trees and grass. Their hearts were filled with memories and smells of home. There are the ward towers. Now we need to find the waterfall, Astrid directed. As they stood before the waterfall, their thoughts were lost in the beauty of it all. "Oh, Astrid," Elsa breathed, "isn't this the most beautiful spot you've ever seen?" "Yes, indeed it is, Elsa. But we must head up to the ward towers. Our kin are there, and hopefully they will welcome us." As they got even closer, their hearts began to pound with anticipation. "Look up there, Elsa." "Greetings," Astrid yelled, but he was too far away to hear her and seemed to be lost in his prayers to his God. "Let's go this way and greet them." They had not gotten far when they were attacked by a Nordheimer. Taking both her and Elsa by surprise, they had no choice. "Elsa, Thor made you Nordheimer armor," Astrid said as she realized that Elsa must mean a lot to him. He wanted them to recognize her as one of their own, but it didn't seem to matter. He was right. They were unlike the kin they knew. They were angry and ready to fight to the death to protect what was theirs in this harsh land. Once again, they tried to offer greetings as fellow Nordheimers, but to no avail. Checking around the camp, they could see that warfare was a top priority. Again they were attacked, this time by the worshippers. They had no choice but to take them out. Astrid walked toward the altar. She recognized it as Ymir immediately. So did Elsa, and she knelt down to pray to Ymir. Astrid knelt beside her. Ymir, god of snow, storm, and war, please grant us forgiveness for slaying our own kin. There is no honor in this, we know. Allow us to enter Valhalla upon our deaths, remembering only our true honor, and we will vow never to take another kin's life needlessly. Guide us upon our path to glory and honor. As they rose together, they vowed to avoid all bloodshed with their own kin, unless they had no choice. Astrid spotted a Nordheimer lookout at his post and followed his gaze up to the mountains. As she stepped closer, she could indeed see that it was snow upon the mountains. "Come on, Elsa, let's hurry," she cried. The path was leading them to the map's next landmark, God's Claw. As they stood there looking at the rock formations, they could see that they looked like giant claws coming out of the earth to swallow anyone who dared to walk between them. They were magnificent. "We're supposed to go this way from here, Elsa," Astrid said as she led the way. "Look, Elsa, boars! Let's use this cliff to get a better look." When they reached the top, they could not believe their eyes. Here was the largest Nordheimer camp they had ever seen, and all around the outside mountain ridges were lookout towers. This had to be New Asgard. It was well fortified and nothing to be trifled with. Their attention was quickly diverted to the site north. It was a large castle, unlike anything they had ever seen. "That has to be the Black Keep," Astrid said in almost a whisper. "I think we should get that recipe for Thor," Astrid said as she looked Elsa straight in the eye. "But I promised Thor that I would not go in there, Astrid." "He had no right to make you promise him anything, Elsa." "But I will abide by anything you decide." Elsa thought for a moment, then replied, "Getting the right armor to find a home in the snows is our future, Astrid. Thor will forgive me once he has his coveted recipe. Let's do this. It'll be dangerous, but we are a formidable team, Elsa, and I believe in us." Elsa smiled at her dear friend. So off they went to find the Black Keep. When they stood upon the hill overlooking the Black Keep, there was no mistaking the bridge of the betrayer. "That's the bridge we cannot cross," Elsa said. "We'll have to look for another way around." "The lake is really long, but to our left looks like a shorter way around," Astrid replied. When they reached the bridge, they were amazed at just how massive it really was. It gave them the chills just to look at it, so they pressed on. They both squealed with delight as their feet touched the first snows they had seen in a very long time. "Oh gods, this is glorious!" shouted Elsa. And better still, they saw wolves. Wolves were nothing to be trifled with, so they prepared for an ambush. And without fail, it came. They avoided the companion wolf and headed straight for the waters, looking for a place to cross. Once on the other side, they headed to the far end of the lake. Well, it looks like we'll have to go climb that cliff to get around. Well, let's go this way, Astrid said. This looks like a good place. And up they went. The Black Keep loomed ahead, and they had to go back down the cliff onto the ice to get there. They could not believe the joy they felt traveling on ice and snow. The air filled their lungs, but their armor did indeed keep them warm. When they reached the keep, it was apparent that they needed to make a choice, left or right. "I say left," Elsa said. "Left it is," Astrid smiled. They needed to get away from that obelisk. It was making them feel ill. What a strange thing it was. But as they came up the stairs, even something stranger appeared. Astrid heard it before she saw it, and it reminded her of the undead skeletons in the mines. "This must be the undead legions of the Kinscourge," Elsa whispered. "Well, I'm sure there'll be more of them, Elsa. Let's be on our guard." Deciding they must go up further, they pressed on, fighting the undead legion along the way. Once they were at the top of the stairs, they knew they were facing the entrance. Lighting her torch, they readied themselves before the door. "Ready, Elsa? Here we go." Once inside, they could feel the thick dampness of the air. It had the smell of death and evil. "Look, Elsa, floor traps. We have to be careful." Stepping into the first room, again they saw that they could go either left or right. "I say left again." "All right, Elsa," Astrid said. As she drew out her torch, she also drew out her axe. This place was like a maze, and they only had their instincts to guide them. Every corridor and stairs was a death trap. Floor trap, Elsa. Jump to the stairs. Now that was close, Astrid cried. Be careful, Elsa. We must be getting close. There are more of them now, Elsa said. Oh gods, Elsa. It's another ghost. Only this one's a young woman, sobbing. What is this place? This Kinscourge is a monster, Astrid cried. The ghost disappeared, and they moved on. Going straight ahead, Astrid tried the door, and the inscription said, "Ancient key required." "Let's try another door," Astrid said. And it said the same thing. Guess we need to find that key, Elsa replied. Let's go this way. Again, using only their instincts, they went in search of the key. Being trapped in a corridor was not a good thing, and they fought with all they had. Carefully checking the rest of the room, Astrid saw it. Look, an open chest with a floor trap. But it has our ancient key. Good work, Elsa smiled. Let's see where this goes. Well, we're not going in there, Astrid said. Let's go back to that door. Ready, Elsa? Slowly, they climbed the stairs, knowing they were really close now. The air smelled of evil. A note, Elsa. Footsteps in my hallways. The living come as the living always come. They come for me, but the curse that holds me is stronger than they are. I am bound for eternity. I am lost forever. Come, living ones. I have not yet forgotten the art of war. Oh gods, this must be from the Kinscourge. It almost sounds sad, but yet pathetic. Let's break his curse, Elsa, or die trying. She could sense he was around the next corner, almost feel his stare. He was waiting. We must rush him, Elsa. Give him no chance. She drew her shield and rushed in. He greeted her with a full-force charge. His blade was the longest blade she had ever seen. This was not going to be easy. And then he did something she didn't expect. He drew in an unknown power and threw it at her. She swiftly backed away. Look out, Elsa! Too late. He was quick. Again and again they dodged his swings. Elsa fought him like a demon possessed. Then she heard Elsa cry out, "Taste death!" in a guttural sound she thought she would never hear from her. And after a long struggle, they ended his suffering. Gods, look at him, Elsa. It's almost sad. Sad? No, Astrid. He's the devil himself. I don't doubt that that caged girl's death was at his hand. He is where he belongs. You are courageous, Elsa. I have never seen you fight like that before. Elsa let out a hearty laugh. Well, you were no slouch, Astrid. Thor will be pleased. Let's find that recipe. Something drew her to the stone in the alcove, and as she approached, it began to glow. Just like the one in the desert, only this one didn't speak. It etched into their minds the recipe for the armor and weapons they sought. They had no idea what any of it meant, but they could repeat it word for word. In awe, they both turned. Let's get out of here, Elsa said.